Welcome to Arkansite, where we take a skewed look at life through an autistic lens. If you enjoy alternative perspectives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's keep the conversation going. In the final days of his administration, President Biden warned of an American oligarchy emerging. Whether this declaration signals the decline of democracy or merely a shift in power dynamics, it raises a critical question. Are we witnessing the rise of a new era of monopolistic control? History offers a stark warning. The robber barons of the 19th century shaped the US economy, but did so through ruthless monopolistic practices, political manipulation, and extreme wealth concentration. Their unchecked power led to the creation of antitrust laws designed to protect competition and prevent corporate dominance. Yet today, we find ourselves grappling with similar issues in new industries, technology, space exploration, and artificial intelligence, where a handful of individuals hold extraordinary influence. Are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? Or can we develop a system of regulation that anticipates monopolistic tendencies before they take hold? This video explores historical parallels, modern challenges, and a potential framework for proactive governance. The robber barons industrialized the US, building the infrastructure, railroads, steel, oil, that still underpins the modern economy. However, their monopolistic practices stifled competition and concentrated wealth to an extreme degree. Beyond economics, they reshaped political power. These industrialists influenced elections, bribed officials, and ensured that government policies served their interests. Their unchecked control led to widespread public backlash and eventually the introduction of antitrust laws. The Sherman Antitrust Act, passed in 1890, was designed to break up monopolies and restore competition. The Clayton Act of 1914 strengthened regulations against unfair business practices. These laws were effective in breaking up trusts, but their focus was on traditional industries, railroads, oil, and steel. Today's industries present new challenges that these laws weren't designed to handle. The modern economy is dominated by figures like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, whose influence extends beyond business into politics, media, and global policy. Unlike their predecessors, today's tech billionaires control platforms that shape public opinion, like social media and AI algorithms. Their rise has infuriated the existing elite, but that's for another video. And if this is something you want me to cover in the future, please leave a comment below. But I digress. Today's tech billionaires operate on a global scale, making national regulations harder to enforce. They invest in industries with direct implications for humanity's future, such as AI, space exploration, and biotech. Governments react too late. Just as it took decades to regulate the railroads, modern lawmakers struggle to anticipate monopolistic control in emerging industries. These industries are harder to regulate. Unlike oil or railroads, AI and data markets are intangible and cross global boundaries. Wealth influences policy. Billionaires fund campaigns, lobby aggressively, and in some cases directly write the laws that regulate their industries. Without proactive governance, today's monopolies risk becoming even more powerful than those of the past. If you are enjoying what you've heard so far, please like and subscribe. Despite 140 years of economic evolution, the same patterns persist. Here's why. Laws are written only after damage is done. The Sherman Act emerged after monopolies formed, just as today's regulators wait for clear consequences before acting on AI, big tech, or space industries. Partisan divisions delay necessary reforms. Many politicians believe free markets will regulate themselves, despite historical evidence to the contrary. Companies fund political campaigns, creating a direct conflict of interest. Lobbying efforts ensure that existing regulations favor corporations, not consumers. Unlike 19th-century monopolies, today's companies operate across borders, exploiting legal loopholes in different jurisdictions. News cycles focus on immediate crises, climate change, pandemics, rather than corporate power. Tech giants control narratives, presenting regulation as a threat to innovation and jobs, discouraging public support. Without intervention, we risk allowing modern monopolies to consolidate power on a global scale. Instead of regulating industries individually, we need a universal framework that applies to all new sectors. Every major industry follows a predictable pattern. 1. Invention stage. A groundbreaking idea emerges. 2. Monopoly stage. A few players consolidate power, eliminating competition. 3. Exploitation stage. Corporations influence markets, labor, and policy. 4. Regulation stage. Governments intervene, usually too late. If we acknowledge this timeless cycle, we can regulate power before monopolies form. A modern regulatory framework should focus on the effects of monopolies, not just the industries they control. Market share limits. If a company controls more than 40 or 60% of an industry, automatic oversight measures should be triggered. Wealth concentration caps, limits on lobbying and political donations from billionaires to reduce undue influence. Global oversight. If a company operates in multiple countries and dominates an industry, an international regulatory body should step in. Prevent acquisitions that would reduce market competition. Require dominant firms to share essential technologies, as was done with railroads and telecoms. Full disclosure of lobbying efforts, political donations, and corporate influence. Severe penalties for companies that manipulate regulatory systems. Companies should be required to reinvest a portion of their profits into public welfare. Independent audits should assess the societal impact of monopolistic practices. Future-proofing. It adapts to any industry. Whether artificial intelligence, biotech, or space exploration, efficiency regulators don't need to understand every new technology, only its market impact. Fairness. No company or individual can dominate indefinitely. Resistance from powerful corporations. Short-term political thinking prioritizes immediate gains over long-term stability, and well, globalization makes enforcement more difficult. Global cooperation. A new regulatory body like the WTO or UN to oversee monopolistic tendencies. Public pressure raising awareness to demand action before it's too late. Political will. Governments must understand that regulation isn't anti-innovation. It's about ensuring innovation benefits everyone. So, what if I told you that the robber barons never left? That they've just swapped oil rigs for satellites and railroads for AI? In the late 19th century, industrialists like Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Vanderbilt built vast empires, crushing competition and controlling essential industries. They dictated prices, influenced governments, and created monopolies that shaped the modern world. But history has a funny way of repeating itself. They claimed that breaking up their monopolies would harm the economy. They argued that their dominance lowered prices, created efficiencies, and ultimately benefited consumers. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing echoes of the past. SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, is facing backlash from competitors who claim the company is trying to monopolize the satellite internet market. Companies like EchoStar and Viasat are urging regulators to block Starlink's upgrades, arguing that SpaceX's dominance could destroy competition, just like the railroad barons of old. Amazon and Meta aren't just fighting government regulators, they're also facing lawsuits from other companies accusing them of monopolistic behavior. These lawsuits claim that Amazon and Meta exploit their dominant positions to stifle competition, control pricing, and manipulate the marketplace. But what's more interesting is how they're defending themselves. Their arguments about efficiency, lower prices, and consumer benefits aren't new. In fact, they're almost identical to those made by the original robber barons when they were confronted by antitrust laws in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. This historic pattern proves one thing. If monopolistic behavior keeps repeating itself, then our approach to regulation needs to change. Instead of playing catch-up with companies after they've gained too much power, we need a framework that regulates the process itself, ensuring that innovation and fair competition go hand in hand without allowing monopolies to form in the first place. You can find the links to the SpaceX, Amazon, and Meta stories in the description below. And as you can see, the tactics may have evolved, but the power struggles remain the same. History has shown us that unregulated monopolies always lead to economic and political imbalance. If we fail to act now, we risk allowing today's tech billionaires to consolidate power in ways even the robber barons never could. By focusing on universal rules, by regulating the very process that unfolds, rather than industry-specific regulations, we can break the cycle before monopolies become too big to challenge. Remember, competition drives down prices, says the man lobbying millions to keep his monopoly. These solutions are not radical. This is not groundbreaking ideology here. This is common sense. The only question is whether we have the political will, or indeed the intelligence to act before it's too late. Are we witnessing the rise of modern-day robber barons? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. And if you want to see more content connecting history with today's corporate empires, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's what feeds the algorithm. Thanks for watching. Every second is, well, monitored by YouTube really, but more importantly, it's genuinely appreciated. Please like and subscribe as the algorithm requires it. If you want to see more content like this video, check out my channel Archon site, and I'll see you in the next one.